Hello everyone, my name is Young Chang. I'm a filmmaker based in Montreal. I'm going to be giving a little 5-minute talk about working in China, filming in China, and hopefully it'll have a nice segue into the co-production seminar you're having today. First of all, I must apologize in advance. One, for not being able to attend uh, the seminar, but I think you're in good hands with the Eyesteel film crew and those others involved as well. Um, Second of all, my eyes will be darting here and there as I'm using my laptop and I am glancing at my notes here. So I hope it's not too distracting. Um, I'm currently in China working on a new film project. It's a film called China Heavyweight in English, and in Chinese it's called Qian Cui Bai Lian. And this is a documentary feature about countryside boys and girls who are trying to become the nation's next boxing champions. Boxing, incidentally, was banned up until 1986 because Mao Zedong thought it was too violent and too Western. But since 1986, uh, the State Bureau, Sports Bureau, has cleverly invested in the idea that there are many opportunities and many medals in the Olympics to be made from the amateur boxing sport. And in addition to that, there's a burgeoning professional uh, community of boxers growing in China. Just in December, Mike Tyson was anointed the ambassador of boxing to China, and he went to promote the sport. And luckily we've been focusing on this story, um, based in a small town in south central China. Really, the film is a sort of a microcosm, similar to Up the Yangtze, and it uses this world of boxing in China to look at individuals. On the one hand, training in the amateur world, this collectivization, this in this in this sport where amateur sport level, where you are training in a sense almost like a martial art, as opposed to boxing as we know in the West, which is much more a one-on-one sort of sport. Um, and so the film will parallel two characters who will, one pursuing the amateur route and the other going professional. Hopefully, lots of things have been happening here since I've arrived, and as documentary goes, everything is so unpredictable. That being said, I'll speak a little bit about my collaboration with this project, with our co-production company Yuanfang Media, based in Beijing, China. One of the producers is my good friend Li Xingfan, who helped me make Up the Yangtze, and who is the director of Last Train Home. I think one of the incentives to co-produce, and I'll let Bob Moore speak more on this, initially was the idea to empower Chinese producers with the know-how to engage with international broadcasters. There are many documentary filmmakers and aspiring filmmakers here in China, but all too often they have language and access sort of blocks to getting out into the international community of producers and broadcasters. So I think one incentive for us, for Eyesteel Film, for myself, for my producers, Peter Wintonic and Bob, etc., was to engage in this relationship where we could sort of sort of guide the process and open the doors to sort of collaborating, teaching, and working with Chinese talent. And of course, we're not the only ones doing this. There's a company based in Taiwan and Hong Kong called CNEX, who's also helping us with co-producing our project, China Heavyweight, who also have this initiative as well. There are many film festivals and markets around the world, and more a focus on Asia and Asian producers. Even just this weekend, the Asian side of the dock was happening in Korea. That's part of Sunny Side of the Dock, where the process for pitching and began for China Heavyweight. For me, the collaboration began with this union with Yangtze Media, with my collaborators, and really hopping from festival to festival, market to market, pitching the film to broadcasters. We began at the Guangzhou International Documentary Film Festival, and just having finished a research trip and pitching the film to ZDF Arte, and from there continuing on, cutting a demo for the project, and going to Sunny Side of the Dock in La Rochelle, France, and also to hot docs, and that's sort of been the road to securing the financing for the film. I think one of the other reasons why we wanted to embark on this co-production process was we want to help push forward a movement of documentary film viewing for Chinese audiences, that theatrical experience. I think not too many Chinese are familiar with the sort of narrative documentary format, and certainly with China Heavyweight, we're really pushing to make a film that is that has a social commentary, but is wrapped up in a certain sort of drama, and we hope that we'll have a theatrical release for the film. And in order to do so, I think to help ease the process of co-production is invaluable. Incidentally, Last Train Home has an impending theatrical release, and if it goes through, it'll be the first social documentary to be released in China. In fact, I think that the license has gone through. It's just a matter now of coordinating and figuring out the marketing plan for releasing the film. I'm going to now talk a little bit about Up the Yangtze. Up the Yangtze was not a co-production with China, but rather a co-production with the National Film Board and Eyesteel Film. And I'll leave it to Bob to speak a little more on this. I think the experience of working in a foreign country, working in China, for me really sort of inspired me as a filmmaker. I'm a Chinese-born Canadian, and I think being Chinese-Canadian certainly helps me as a filmmaker to make a film in China, in that I'm able to embed myself and sort of melt into the environment and not gain too much attention when I'm running around in small towns and villages. I think of course, I think the first element would be that embarking on a process of making a film in a foreign country is that, and certainly in Asia, is that I don't think I would do anything otherwise but work with local Chinese filmmakers. I only shoot with Chinese locals, and being able to embed myself in this world allows me to work unnoticed and there's so much talent here. It's remarkable, the sort of creative collaboration that exists between my crew and myself when we're working on a film. Up the Yangtze was shot under the radar. We didn't seek official permission for obvious reasons, which made the production process a bit more tedious. I think it really depends on your subject matter. And on the other hand, for China Heavyweight, because it's a co-production and because of the nature of the subject, essentially a film about sport, we're working quite openly and above ground. And we do have the support of the local sports bureau where I'm shooting. This is all quite wonderful, making the process quite easy, we're able to operate without the sort of carefulness we were operating with in Up the Yangtze. Well, generally for documentary, I really think shooting in a foreign country doesn't really always necessitate the need for a co-production agreement. Maybe Bob has some words about this. But, to go back again, I think it really depends on the subject matter and its sensitivity. I think sometimes it's much easier to pick up a camera and buy a plane ticket and drop down into the country where you're planning to shoot and get that tourist visa and just make the film and operating without the burden of the negotiation process, the contractual process, and what it may lead to. Even Up the Yangtze, we did seek and look into the official licensing process, and it would have been expensive and difficult, and probably we wouldn't have gotten permission, and it would have raised flags that we were making the film, and that's not what we wanted at the time. For China Heavyweight, on the other hand, because we're working with Yuanfang Media, and we're seeking that license, I think it will certainly help open doors when we want to release the film theatrically in China. I think one sort of mantra may be that the less attention you bring to yourself, the better, and I think that works as a documentary filmmaker, and it also helps when you're making a documentary creatively as well, to think of it that way. Certainly, it's been useful for me. So it's 1:30 in the morning here. I think I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll leave things to the others involved in the seminar. Good luck, and hopefully I'll catch you on Skype in a few hours. I'm not sure if I'll be able to hook it up. The internet here is a bit difficult, but we'll see what happens. Good luck. Have a good day.